Bought the Vmax brand new back in 2007. It doesn't have a whole lot of miles on it. 11,300 and almost 20. But I've never changed the fuel filter. So it's been sitting there a while. I always keep additives in the fuel. That way if it sits, the fuel stays fresh for up to a year. I also use the Lucas fuel injector cleaner, and that keeps everything lubricated and conditioned for the fuel lines and the fuel pump. So now what we need to do is just take off the seat. It's a Corbin seat, so it's a bit different. I already got the saddlebags out of the way. They're just kind of sitting right there. So 8mm hex heads, one in here and one on the other side. They've been removed, and this basically lifts off by going lifting the back up and this way, and it comes right off. Then we'll take a look underneath. I'm sure many of you folks have gone ahead and changed the battery, and it's such a pain. Coils have to come out. This relay here comes out. You unplug this. I usually don't have to mess too much around with this, but I do take all this apart and out of the way. But all I need today is something simple like the fuel filter. So I'm going to go ahead and unplug these two just to get them out of the way. And the fuel filter is sitting right here, and there's a pinch clip here and a pinch clip there. And these are disconnected here. I'm going to dump some dielectric grease down inside the female portion of these before I put them back together. That just promotes conductivity and at the same time keeps corrosion out. And it looks like a little sleeve that the filter fits into. No matter how careful you are going to go ahead and get some fuel leakage. So the best thing to do is to kind of pinch these off. I bought these a while back, I think Amazon, and then one of them came with something else or whatever, but these are pinch clips for these. So we'll go ahead and get those on there and get the fuel pinched off. There's the pinch clips on there. Open up these clamps here using a trusty pair of little duck bills. And I just need to go ahead and pull these off the filter here and make a mental note that the larger size is on this size right here. Okay, between the duck bills and the screwdriver, nice gentle prying. I was able to get this off no problem, and it's pretty much dry. No fuel leaked out there. So I just need to pull this through, get it out of here, and then I can actually, once it's out, get better access to this side of the fuel filter hose. Again, just take your time, and that way nothing gets damaged. Alright, I've got a couple different new filters. I got this one here and this one here, and I think I'll use this one for the Vmax. Why? It's got some red and it kind of looks cool. They were both the same price. I just thought this one was kind of neat. And it's got a fine mesh filter inside instead of this paper one here. This is the direction. That's why I took this apart. Neither one of these, unfortunately, have any arrows on them, which can drive you nuts. And what I'm going to do is, since this one here has the bigger side on this side, that's usually how the way it goes. So I'm going to transfer this arrow to this one here, so when I do go to install this one, I know which way the fuel is going since I can't see inside of it. Down inside here, it's just got the little support down inside there, which supports the bottom of the paper element. And for this one here, the support is a solid piece of plastic here, and then of course you have the screen and stuff up here. So that's the way pretty much that one goes. So that's what I'm going to hook on. And what I'm going to do is, before I close it up, I am going to install this, leave it out of the little rubber tube that's built into the bike, turn it on to make sure the fluid, the fuel, is on the outside, making its way into the filter in here, because you want the larger cavity to be able to hold any type of debris. You don't want it going the other way, otherwise this smaller cavity in here could fill up and then it could just go with fuel starvation. Okay, as soon as you turn the key and you hear that all too familiar clicking noise, and that's the fuel pump doing its thing, and all the fuel came up on the outside, which is exactly what it's supposed to do. I took out the regular little pinch clamps just because it's fuel, and I had these clamps here that are kind of better than a band clamp. They kind of look like these here. Got on Amazon and order a bunch of different sizes because I like to replace band clamps, especially smaller ones, because of the diameter of them, with these ones here. And then since I have a bit of the screw sticking out, They have these little guys here. I'm going to slide over. It will soften up the edge of the screws that are in there so it doesn't try to cut into anything or just get in the way. And I'll show you where those are going to go. Okay, rag is bone dry, so there's no leaks. Again, I don't like the screws sticking out. I'm going to give these just a little bit more of a turn to tighten them. And then that's basically the new one there. So if I have any questions about the fuel, I can just kind of pull this forward and have a look and see if there's anything in it. With the other one, you couldn't even see through it. So I'll make sure these are out of the way. And I already got the dielectric grease inside here. Don't have to worry about that. Okay, got the protective end caps on, so there's no way that can dig into anything. The same thing with on this side in case it ever rubs up against these here. I might see if I can get a shield around just this one here. I think I've got some bigger versions of this, and that way I can protect this a bit more. The other yellow one down there seems to drop, so let's see what I can come up with for this one here. I got to have something laying around somewhere. Yeah, it's finished product. A little bit of this wire loom cover and a couple tie wraps. Fits right down in there. And then of course this thing here can do whatever it wants. Nothing's going to get hurt. Everything is all basically sealed up and cushioned. So that's it. Go ahead and put this back in. I only have to deal with this when I change the battery, which I've actually fixed. I had a hard time with the battery. I was going through them until I found the main charging wire and traced it all the way back. You got a 3-phase AC stator that's basically built into the engine. It takes one of the leads and powers up the battery. If you take the main wiring loom and just start unraveling it, and then you'll see on this first generation where they've actually crimped that onto the main power line, and they crimp it so hard they bust about a third of the windings of the wire, which increases resistance, and next thing you know, you're only getting about 12.3 charging volts for a 12-volt battery. Fix that up, basically solder it all up, and then wrap it back up, and I've got 13.4 volts now charging the battery. That's all it was. So anyway, that's it. At least the fuel filter's done. I won't have to worry about that for another 14 years. Get this all back in. Inside here, these little guys here wrapped in a heat tape. Those are actually loads that I attached in line with the wire that goes to the directionals, because I put LEDs in there. That way you don't get the hyper flash. And that's it. Basically throw this thing back together, and that's it for today.